we unleash our imagination, what could we have done with, like, of course, Islamic finance and all established, and with some sense of reality, fiqh al-waqi', and what can we do? Because if we only focus on the Turkey as an example or as the only choice or the only current solution, and we like hold to it, because if we let it go, we won't have anything else. It might keep us from getting to something much better. I'm not saying the Turkish example, but that's it. Just Turkish becoming another China.
It is Turkey for any country should be just an example. Don't expect anybody. In fact, we shouldn't have that attitude. Somebody should come and solve things for us, right? I think we look at what can I learn from that. What can I implement? It's going to be a long journey. You can't fix that. It's a life mission. You say, I'm 25, 9, whatever. My life, I want to fix something. I want my life to matter. It's a dedication, decades of work for one thing that I can do, make it better, start something, contribute to something. It's not going to be a short, quick fix for sure.
You have a question? Go ahead.
For this informative discussion. First of all, and second of all, I would like to debunk the misconception about us. I would like to introduce us as Bank Samara. So we're not Malaysian or Indonesian, just so you know.
We are welcoming everyone. We don't have any problem.
Yes. It's just a representation of a region in Philippines that people may not know about us. We are from Bangsamoro and we are in an autonomous region in Muslim Mindanao in Philippines. So, as someone who came from that, my question is, as the CEO of the olive investment, what is your biggest why, and why out of all the halal products, I want to know why olive as the production.
A question regarding olive investment that we set up. It's it's like a fund that invests in Australian healthcare, and healthcare in Australia is the biggest industry that employs most of the people. People in Australia they now live longer because a lot of chronic diseases that people used to die from are now treatable. So people generally live longer, but it's more expensive getting, So it's ethical. It's something that works well with our system of beliefs. And why olive? It was our marketing manager. We first named it Iman Investment, and then he said, "Don't make it like everything in our space become Iman, Ihsan. These words, like you made something completely different, more easy to sort of remember, Just like our logos, everybody always Islamic company, they put crescent, crescent, and so make it something different. And then he made the logo, and in the logo he make some sort of a circle and a gap which points to Mecca, and this is where our values are from. And olive also is a tree that is very healthy, lives long, and this medicine itself, right? So this is why we choose that, and we want our faith to inspire what we do, our actions. So that's, I hope that, and I know Mindanao, the region.
Thank you so much. I would like to thank you first of all. My name is Amir Colan, and I'm from Somalia, and I'm a student here in Istanbul. I'm studying civil aviation. It's my last year. I would like to ask you two questions. The first one is as you know, in the world now, there is a matrix system. The big companies are ruling the world, like JP Morgan, Rothschild, and Johnson Johnson. These companies, they are the biggest companies in the world, and they are ruling.
What did you say, matrix
system?
Okay.
Yeah. There is a lot of companies like IMF also. They are working with the United Nations, also World Bank. If you want to build like infrastructure or like build a railway or something stuff, they say you need to have every country they need $1.
They need what?
They need the finance, the dollar.
Right.
So on dollar, it depends on American. It's American currency, and you can't buy anything from outside of your country. In order, like, how can we become independent from dollar?
Yeah.
Can we have a world that is not dependent U.S. currency?
Yeah.
The first one. The second one is, like you say, Germany. As you see now, Germany is the first country in Europe because of why they are producing value-added products. Mercedes, BMW, Audi, all these cars are produced in Germany. Most of European countries, if you know, like the chocolate, the cacao is produced in Africa, the raw materials. But 1 kilo you are buying from Africa, $1. But 100 gram produced, like they make the added value, they are producing in Europe, and they are selling 100 gram just $10. And 1 kilo they buy $1. So in order to be like, how can we become a country that's producing value-added products that we can make money? So that's all. Thank you so much.
Look, these questions are very big questions. Problem of the dollarization, which we touched on, is that currently in the world, when it comes to US dollar, that dominates the world. When the government, US government, practice something that they call quantitative easing, where they increase supply of money. Usually what starts happening with this money, it starts finding its place in developing and emerging economies, right? When they start tightening, okay, when they start increasing interest rate and that money starts going back, it then causes a shock in those economies where it landed, because it starts going back.
Yes.
Right? So this movement, quantitative easing and then tapering, these are cycles that shock the world. So dependence on dollar is very difficult because dollar is the bedrock of our financial system. Right?
Yeah.
So financial payments are backed. Settlement is backed by dollars. So some countries, as you see, they start dealing with neighbor country in their own currencies, right? They
Swap trade.
right.
Swap trading.
And some countries create their own channels of communication to create channels like a SWIFT, a US SWIFT. They have their own. So Russia has its own, China, and so on. These are very hard things to remove yourself when you are a small player in the world, right?
As you said previously, sorry for interrupting, some of like the underdeveloped countries, they don't have that much finance or strong economic system, like in Africa and other like Asian countries. So that's why they have to take debt from IMF or World Bank.
Okay, let's say that they have to take it. In the meantime, I will give everybody every excuse. They have to take it, they take it. They
And
do
also
this, do that.
these
The
countries,
problem.
they always have a labor cost, and also they are not producing value-added products.
That's the problem. So that's the problem. What do you do with that money? It pays the salaries of bureaucracies, and sometimes it comes with a string attached. Not necessarily conspiracy theory links, but it might say, oh, you have to do this and that. That will ensure that you return the money. It's not going to be necessarily good for you. They are just saying, okay, here's the money, but make sure this happens, right? They are doing it maybe in the best intention to get their money back, but it might not be in your best interest, okay? So what do you want to do, as you mentioned? You have a raw product that somebody takes and makes much more money than you. Well, you see where the problem is. I mean, you have to start somewhere doing and competing in this, right? You have to start making your own product, right? Take that, make your own chocolate. Why is the Swiss chocolate? Where is the cacao being grown in Swiss or Belgian chocolate? Where is their cacao coming from?
They don't have it even
Right?
here.
In the Alps of the Swiss, when they're skiing, there's somewhere cacao there.
Okay, but let's make it harder. If an African country is trying to make it something regarding chocolate or cacao, but the problem here comes that they didn't have the finance, they didn't have the money. Either it's dollar or euro, either if you are talking about small and medium-sized enterprises like those guys maybe are aiming to do, so from where they are going to get their finance? Because here comes the problem.
True.
I'm sure most of the attending here have a brilliant ideas regarding how they are going to change their society, but they don't have the money.
True, that's a look, you know, I have a lot of courses. I have one course, Leadership Islamic Finance, where I discuss with the young people, and this is very common, you know, where do I get money? I have this brilliant idea, and this and that. And my philosophy is that, first of all, you start, I mean, before I tell you something else about money, something to maybe a little bit think differently about the money, but look, you start with what you have, right? You start with what you have. Maybe you can't now become Nestle, right? But you say, all right, chocolate, all right. What do you study?
Civil aviation.
All right. So let's say you're studying food, for example, since that was, okay, how can I make something? How can I make something? I have in Melbourne, 1 hour from me, there's a chocolatier, which is a place like a factory on the hill in Glen Valley called, where they have a little chocolate factory, right? And they set up the factory in glass on one side. You can see. And then from the other side, it's a restaurant, right? So you're sitting there, you're watching chocolate being made, right? And on the other side,